Good morning, good morning. Dwight Cliff Jr. here, one half of Cliff and Cliff, and right now you're tuned into the Cliff and Cliff Money Making Mondays morning show, brought to you, of course, by Cliff's Construction and Cliff and Cliff, baby. Those are our two dedicated sponsors. We're working on getting some other rules, but nonetheless, thank you for tuning in. The only show where we're going to talk construction, business, sports, family, life, and I think that if you got a healthy dose of those, you're doing all right. And so man, let's get right on into it, man. Life has been on full throttle, it feels like. I mean, we're in eyeball deep in the information age, and there's just so much that's going on personally with my life, the business, and really society. I think that everybody's kind of feeling a little bit of something where it's extreme, just things are going really well. Some things for people are not going very well. And I feel really both ends of the spectrum because I deal with a wide variety of people, right? This show isn't biased by any means. I'm going to give it to you raw and real. And so, even for our business, man, we're getting the office remodeled as we speak. It's almost completed. Things are going well. Working with the new mentor slash like consultant, they're doing really well for us. I would say that consultants are worth their weight in gold if you do what you need to do. So I'm excited about getting the new office completed. I'm excited about being able to move in and start to really put our team together because we've had a team, but things are really starting to get real. It's different when you're the boss, man, and you got to really start to make some tough decisions as far as not necessarily tough decisions. You just got to be more consistent. When you're elevating, there's absolutely new levels, new devils, um, no doubt about it. And so that kind of leads me into what I want to get into real quick, and that's about one of the greatest skills you can have right now is going to be focus and execution. Those two skills right now will carry you for the next 20 years because we're officially an information age. When I'm on Facebook, when I'm on Instagram, when I'm on YouTube, um, there's just so much knowledge out there, so many different opportunities. And so, uh, being able to hone in on what you want to do out here, even Warren Buffett, I was reading a I was reading an article that I believe was published by somebody that interviewed Warren Buffett. And he was like, one of the greatest skills you can have right now is the ability to do something well and hone that skill and make a lot of money from it. And so that's what we're all about, man. And so things are going well. My birthday's coming up in 2 months. I'm trying to go fishing. So if you got a great location where I should be going, I'm just learning to fly fish. That's been huge. I'm just coming back from Achilles injury, so really for me, life is like drinking through a fire hose right now. A lot of great things happening, and so even when there's great things happening, people don't even tell you like that's stressful sometimes because it's like, damn, so many things coming. It's great, 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 great opportunities, and so being able to focus in and using discernment to know which opportunities to go after, and which opportunities to turn down. And so we've absolutely turned down a lot of opportunities over the past few months, but we're absolutely accepting our fair share of opportunities as well. So that's what's going on, man. But I definitely want to give you that for sure because a lot of people don't think that um, stress is at the top, but more importantly, that you need to just focus in right now. And that's something I'm even taking my own advice. And so I'm learning to focus in. There's a lot of things I want to do in life, and so I'm learning just to focus in and hone in on those things. And so that's what it's absolutely about. So let's get into sports, man. Let's get into sports real quick. I know you're driving into work. This week here, recently, LeBron James just played in the Drew League, man. He dropped 42 points. And it's kind of funny to think about that, man. This dude is getting old. I don't know how old. How old is LeBron? Um, I don't even know. Let me just check it out real quick. I got you on here. Because he was absolutely killing, man. But what I did see too, which is kind of weird, that DeMar DeRozan, they call him Debo, he was out there, man, letting these guys get under his skin. And I get it, man. Hoops is competitive. Um, and so you definitely want to get out there, man, and give it all you got. And sometimes, man, some guys just got your number. Lamar's 37 years old. I am 29, and I feel like I couldn't do it. But that's just a sure testament, man, to this guy's sheer work ethic, man, and what he puts into this game. I'll tell you what, he gets after it. In other news here locally, the Pacers. signed an offer sheet, and DeAndre Ayton signed an offer sheet for $133 million. That's some significant money. The Suns, funny enough, had 48 hours to respond to match that offer sheet, and they sure did. And so it's kind of a running joke right now on Twitter that DeAndre Ayton was a Pacer for a day, which, I think that a lot of people were looking forward to it, depending on who you were. I always think stuff like that, man, is good for the city because, we don't have a lot of big names that come to the city as far as sports-wise, and so when we do, we'd like to embrace those guys. And I tell you what, man, as an athlete kind of looking back, man, it's like, if you can put a city on your back, if you can go somewhere, man, and make a name for yourself and make a name for that city, and you devoted, somebody paying you has devoted to paying you a lot of money. I think that, man, if you come and give that city your all, you can make a lot of money in that city, from endorsements to so many different ways. But I think a lot of these athletes' mindset is very narrow focused as far as the business aspect. And that's something that I'm trying to hone in too, man. There are so many different ways that, we can embrace our city as business people and contractors that people don't even know about. Like, different kind of brands, if you embrace the city in different ways, man, that investment get back to you tenfold, I think. So yeah, so that's kind of what's going on in sports right now. Not a lot of news, man. NFL, there's some trades and stuff happening and going on. I think Kyrie's trying to go to Lakers, and that may happen. That may or not happen. So they're working through a lot of paperwork and trying to figure out what's the best situation. So I don't know. I don't really follow that piece as much because I don't have a lot of time, honestly. I just kind of catch some of the top highlights, and I kind of go from there. In other news, I'm trying to go somewhere for Florida. But yeah. And so, man, that's what I got for you this week. But right now, also, we're about to go ahead and get into this week's industry breakdown, baby. This week's IB. I got it while I was driving. It was on my mind, and so I was out the other day. And yeah, I'm about to drop that now. Let's get to it. Right now, I'm on the road to go pick up some ammo because we've been a little light since COVID, and there was a place out here on the west side that got some stuff. But right now I'm about to give you this week's IB industry breakdown. Let me get right on into it. So how do I feel about the economy right now, and do I think we're in a recession? That's a great question. I don't think it can be answered very simply, but for us, I don't think so. And that's because we're in a little bit different of a market, different market segmentations. The one thing that I heard in college, and the one thing that I hear amongst my mentors, is that are like, you either want to be on one or two ends of the spectrum. You either want to be the cheapest, or you probably want to be towards the top tier contractors that are charging the most for their services. And why do I say that? And of course, you got to provide a lot of value. And I don't really even want to get into that. If you want to hear more about that, let me know. Let me know in the comments. I can get into that. But I think that. And what I'm pulling on right now, what I'm pulling on ultimately is just my experience out here from in this industry, my colleagues' experiences, my friends in the industry, and kind of like the conversations that we're having right now, and even my other friends that are in other industries. And so a lot of some contractors that we work with are very much feeling the pain. They are, how do you say it? They necessarily don't know their worth for the most part. They make enough money to kind of survive. And don't get me wrong, sometimes you have to do that. But right now, this economy, people are spending money. And so you can't keep cutting your prices to get work. That's a surefire way to lose. Especially if you consider yourself, you're providing a lot of value for your clients. And so, I got friends also in business that are doing very well. They're just absolutely out here raking it up. And so, and that really comes back to, where do you fall in line at? But ultimately, I got a friend that's out in Elkhart, and they work for an RV manufacturer. And they posted the other day that their production is starting to cut back a little bit. The things that they produce are not selling. Sales are starting to slow down a bit. And so if they're seeing it recreationally, you're definitely going to see it too. And why is that? I mean, we're feeling the pain everywhere. We're feeling the pain at the gas pumps. We're feeling pain at the getting food. If we're taking our families out to eat, it's getting a lot more expensive. I mean, me and my fiance, we would spend anywhere from $30, to go out and have a decent meal just at a typical restaurant that we like, here in the city. And now we're closer to about $40 to $60 every time we go out. And that just isn't the norm. Even paying at the grocery store, I mean, our groceries bill starting to go up, and that's just not that's not by coincidence, you know what I mean? The government's inducing this recession. And so there's not a matter of fact if there's a recession. There is a recession going on, but should you be worried or should you be fearful? It depends. It absolutely depends. Are you a top tier contractor, or are you selling services based on what you can do? And are you a commodity? Are you a transformation contractor, or are you I can get you paint on 2 of these walls for, how much can you buy the paint and I'll just put it up for you? You know what I mean? There's 2 ends of the spectrum. 2 ends of the spectrum there. But I say all that to say that there is a recession happening right now. For some people, for some contractors, for some segments of the population. And so the people at the top aren't feeling it. You know what I mean? They're still buying. They're still making moves. They're still traveling. I'm looking at plane tickets right now, and plane tickets are getting more expensive. So the recreational market's getting hit heavy. But I don't think that the home remodeling and things like that, because once people are staying at home, hey, guess what? They want to be able to live nicely and comfortably at home. And if they've been sitting in this house that hasn't been updated in the past 20 years, they're like, hey, why don't we go ahead and get these things done, that stuff done, getting the basement done. They're wanting to get that backyard oasis put in. They're looking to get that new bathroom put in that they've been putting off, because they've been traveling so much. So yeah, there's definitely a hot market. I mean, think about it. When I say that some contractors are feeling it and some aren't, concrete right now in central Indianapolis, it is scarce. You cannot find concrete even if you wanted to for your project, because there are so many state projects that are going on right now, state and government projects, large capital projects that require a lot of concrete. So I haven't even been able to get concrete even at the level that we're at, because they're selling all this concrete at only to the big boys that have committed to buying so many yards. So that's just the fact of the matter. That is just the fact of the matter. What is going on today? I tell you what, there's some weird stuff going on the road while I'm driving. I feel like there was a drunk driver here just earlier. He was like hogging both lanes, driving down the middle of the street on one of the busiest streets here in Indy. But nonetheless, so yeah. What I was saying is that there's a lot of commercial contractors out here making a lot of money. They're booked and busy. Residential contractors booked and busy. But right now, I think we're going to come to a head, Our concrete contractors are really slowing down because they haven't been able to get any mud. So that's one area, And I think it's a trickle-down effect for the economy. When there's a lot of money in the economy, there's a slight trickle-down effect to lower employees. But, it's a trickle-down effect. And I think even more, what I'm trying to say is that I think it's even more so with when there's like a recession, you feel it more than when the economy's up and everything's, running well. That money ain't trickling down as much as it is. They saving a lot of that money at the top. But you definitely gonna feel it when it's a recession. They gonna start cutting back on hiring. They gonna even start laying people off. And so I think we're gonna start to see some layoffs coming up here soon, because people aren't buying as much. They started to run sales everywhere we see. They're running sales at Target. They're running sales at some of the supply stores that we frequent. But if you're in that higher end of supplies and stuff, you're not gonna feel that. I don't think you're gonna feel it that much at all. And honestly, how I think you survive right now is raising your prices. You absolutely need to raise your prices, but you also need to raise your value on what you're providing your clients. So dig in. I think I was listening to something the other day with what's his name? Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett said to find something you're good at right now and hone that skill so you can charge more more money for that skill. And I think that's absolutely a great plan right now, is that whatever you're doing in your business, you need to learn professional sales. You need to be marketing more. You need to be putting yourself out there more. That's just what you need to be doing to survive right now. And so I don't think you should be scared of the marketplace. Don't go run, tuck your tail. Right now, it's the time to get busy. It's time to learn a new skill with your business. It's time to dig in. It's just time to get better overall. And I tell you what, if you dig in and you can survive this time right now, I think that great things await. Because what you don't know is that in times of uncertainty, that's when it's time to really get it. Because don't nobody know what to do. And if you can just continue to do what you do in your business, oh, you're going to be successful, because you got something you're working on. People are starting to quit right now because they feel hopeless, but you need to stay hopeful, in the state of hopelessness. Absolutely. And if you don't, I'll tell you what, you might fail. You might fail right now. And so I wanted to give you this week's industry breakdown real quick while I was on the road. I'm about to be pulling up to where I need to go here soon, so I'm going to get off of here, and yeah. Backing in to get some gas. One of our competitors right there. They do some great work. We do too, baby. But I'm going to get on off of here. Let's get back to the show. All right, so that was this week's industry breakdown. I hope you like what you saw there. So just, a lot of things happen in the economy. The best thing you can do, man, is just stay on your game. Do what you can do. You can't stress. You cannot worry about the things that are not in your control. You can only do the things that are in your control. And what exactly are the things that are in your control, right? I think that your work ethic, and something I heard the other day, man, it was really fascinating, is that even though that the world is in chaos and doing all these different things, don't allow that type of thinking and type of mentality to infiltrate your way of thinking in your world. Because at the end of the day, man, you and your family is all you got. Your mental health and your ability to get things done is all centered around you. Right now, I'm tuning out a lot of these news channels, man. I'm focused in just on the business, my family, and doing great things out here for my community, man. And I suggest that's a winning recipe, watching this news and stuff, that'll get you down. And so try to stay off the news as much as possible, man, because they make their living selling you all this controversy and giving everybody high anxiety. So they get their money based on viewers, and the sky's always falling on the news. And so get outside, get some fresh air, man, and most importantly, get some money, man. Go out there, get some money, make some people happy, provide some value, man. Keep them clients happy. That's the key to it all. Provide as much value as you can. So Cliff and Cliff, Money Making Mondays, baby. The morning show. Get out there, make it happen today. And if ain't nobody else told you, I love you. Peace.